Welcome back to another video. It's been a long time since I did one of these. So I set up Ubuntu on my gaming PC. This is Ubuntu Focal Fossa, and I was wondering how should I set up my terminal here. This is the configuration of this machine. You can see it's mostly I use this for gaming, but I also use Mac and Windows subsystem for Linux for programming. So I thought I'll create this project that will let me set up my CLI with a single script. And one thing that I wanted was that install should be isolated to a specific folder. So I came up with this little tool called Cli Config. What this does is sets up sort of helpers for your CLI on top of MyZSH and Antigen plugin manager. So let's try and set this up on this machine. Well, I have it set up already on my local machine, but we can use Canonical's multipass project to create an Ubuntu instance, and then we'll set it up on that machine. So the prerequisites for this are ZSH, curl, wget, and git. If you have a few of these that are not installed, you can use either apt on Ubuntu to get them, or on Mac you'd probably use Homebrew. So now that we have all the prerequisites, let's clone the project. It's on GitHub, and I'll add this link to the description it'll be easier for you to copy it. You can clone it anywhere you want, but for me I'm just going to put it on the home directory. So if you cd into the home directory, you'll find the csetup.sh file. All you need to do is execute it, and the way this works is wherever you clone your project, I create a folder called current, and let me show it to you. All the installs that happen will go into that directory. So I cloned it to Cli Config, current. As you can see, already things have started getting installed. We have Antigen, NVM, MyZSH, and this conf shell script that kind of configures all these installs. So I had already run it once, so it's caching all the apt installs, so that's why it completed quick. If you do it for the first time, you'll get some prompts about your password for installing things with apt. Alright, so now that this is installed, let's open a new terminal, and so you can change your default shell with chsh, but for the time being I'll just open ZSH. So if you see, this is my prompt. I can open the configuration. Oh, I just missed one step. So after you've set up the script, right, you have to add these two lines to your ZSHRC file. So I'll add that at the very end, and this is how you exit vim, don't forget that. And all we need to do is start ZSH again. I completely screwed that part, didn't I? Right, so I had cloned it to my home directory at Cli Config, and that should work, fingers crossed. That's weird. Let's give it the whole path instead. Great. I probably won't edit this out because these are kind of gotchas and good to see where you might go wrong. And I always want to make sure that this is kind of not live stream, but uncut as possible. So for the first time when you run ZSH or change your shell to ZSH with CHSH, Antigen will try and install all the different packages that we're using. Few of them you can see them here: PR, auto suggestions, derenv, and syntax highlighting. Now if we open the main configuration, which is app cli config root, that's the environment variable you have to set, specifying where your installation is or the clone repo is. So here you can see I'm using pure as the shell. If we want to use something that comes with ZSH, one of them is amuse, I suppose. So if I add that in, I have to reset antigen and then open a new shell. So this is a different shell, a different theme, amuse by the ZSH team. So what else do we have here? So we've set up node, we have npm, and we have pyenv, so we can install a version of Python and then it'll install it. So the great thing about Python is if I go to my home directory, create a Python project folder, and here if I do this, I add it to a file called Python version, and then I also need the 3.8.5 version, right? So now whenever I cd into this directory, pyenv will find that Python version file and automatically switch to that version of Python. So you don't have to worry about specifying which version of Python you should be running in this directory. That's one of them. Something else that we also install is derenv. So again, let's create a file called .envrc, and then let's export, for example, we're working with some database, so let's say I'm just making this up. So a few environment variables. Now you see derenv is asking that running this script is blocked. So if you allow that, what happens is whenever you switch to that directory, those environment variables will get picked up from that envrc file, and that also helps you keep your configuration local. You just ignore that file in your git history, and that will kind of make sure that you don't by mistake add environment variables to your source control. So you can check out what the other tools that I'm installing. AutoJump is a great one. The fork is also really good. And if you like this project, give it a star. PRs are always welcome. Yeah, that was it. So see you next week. Let's see what I work on this week. See you later.